How's your pandemic going? Great! I don't care. I love healthy foods. I think the most part, it's really underrated how much importance should be stressed on not wasting food. I can't stand it, but I grew up in a household where we were on food stamps. We didn't have much to our name. Ramen was a staple. And so we didn't waste. The phrase waste not, want not was a staple of our existence. And then I got into the real world and I started seeing how real people lived, and I was like, what is going on, man? There's so much food waste. And so I love shopping on a bargain, man. I love it, I love it, I love it, and it makes perfect sense. So I wanted to take the time to make this video into a nice healthy recipe, but also give you a little bit of a cheap option. I think one of the best things to do is bargain shop, because not only do you find that you find the best, cheapest deals, you find new things. You find things you never really thought about before, maybe you didn't try before. Well, we don't have that this time, but you can take this and hopefully reincorporate this into your own ideas. And that's what I aim to do. I aim to take your brain and just make it go, what can I do? So please, anything you see in this video, do it. I would encourage you. So I have a cutting board of ingredients here, and these for the most part were pretty cheap. In fact, I'll even show you on camera. You can see, probably in that one, you might be able to see it, $8.19 a pound, buy one, get one free. I'm sorry, you can't get better than cheap like this. Now yes, is the meat not as fresh as everything else? Yes, but you can do stuff with it to make it better. You see, we have these little bits, dark bits down here. Cut them off, they're usually fine. Trust your nose. If you don't have a nose or a sense of smell, I can't help you because I don't really have a good one either. Actually, I can because I don't have one. You have to touch it, you have to taste it, you have to see. Maybe not while it's raw. Or maybe while it's raw. Who knows? The point is that a grocery store is going to throw this stuff away. I encourage you, learn this stuff, employ it to your own life, and for the love of God, tell me how much money you end up saving, because I'd love to know who takes these recipes and feeds their families healthy. Now, I will say the only thing here that did actually cost money is red peppers. Because of the wondrous world of the stimulus checks, red peppers are now going up in price. So unfortunately, this is the most expensive item on here compared to the pork chops by volume. So these peppers are coming in at a crazy high amount, so I don't encourage you to do this with red peppers. If you can find cheaper ones elsewhere, you'll probably get a better bang for your buck. But I wanted to do, because we did our little burger tier test video, I found the greatest little thing to do, which is to start pickling things. But not only pickle them with pickle juice and pepperoncini juice, or sweet banana pepper juice. Then fucking tastic! But I have a problem with peppers, you see. They're all loose and wobbly because they're old and I didn't do things properly. I didn't buy them correctly. So I wanted to run a different kind of experiment. I don't own a flaming broil grill. I don't own a charcoal grill. I don't got any of that. I do got an oven. So what's the point of having an onion? I have an onion. Did I? I might have just said I have an onion instead of an anyway. You take these red peppers and you throw them on the broil function. And you know what? While we're just being all broil happy, why don't we do that with the rest of our vegetables? Why don't we do that with our pork? Why don't we take the simplistic route to make a healthy meal that's cheap and fast? People like to say, oh, you can only pick 2 of the 3 choices. Nah, they wrong. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're wrong. So we take this here oven and we're just going to lovingly embrace using that broil feature, because that's what life's all about. So now all I'm going to do is just simply lay out my peppers skin side up. That's the key difference that I would say would make this a lot better, is if you do the skin side up, the part towards the flame, you get a really nice char on these peppers, and they will just be 10 times better. Although I don't think I need 2 pans, so, oh, no, maybe I should, oh. Should I do 2 pans? Let's see how many I got in this other one. So we'll just have to remember, but this group here is the pepperoncini. In fact, I'm going to cut a pea into it. This is totally safe, kids. Do this at home. Don't do this at home. Your parents will be mad at you. So I'm going to put a pea, the worst pea you've ever seen in your life, into this pepper. Shut up! And then we'll put another pea into this one, because I will definitely forget if I don't do this. And then this way, these ones, these nicer ones, will be just simply the sweet bread and butter pickles, which I know not everyone's a huge fan of. I love these things because the pickle juice is like a perfect combination, a nice hybrid of everything. But if you don't want to do it, you can just use a regular dill pickle. I would say you might want to throw in a little bit of brown sugar, give it a little sweetness, because these have been pickling for about 5 days, I want to say now, in this little container, so it's not the best pickling. You can probably do better yourself. Take the idea, tell me what you do, and then you're just going to throw this in the oven. Super simple. Which I'm not going to do right now because I will do it later when I'm doing all the components. Here's the thing about this asparagus. I got this on sale. They were crappy, and all I did was I cut the little tail ends off. You can see, you get these little pieces, they got these little bit of wilt. Just take it, cut the little ends off, cut towards yourself. Don't do that, that's bad. But here's a little trick I want to give you. Take these things. These massive ones, I hate them massive. They're tough, they're difficult, they suck to eat. Cut it down to half, marinate it. Marinate your foods, goddammit. Simplest way to do that, a little olive oil, a little vinegar. Throw in whatever spices you want. I'm just gonna do something simple and just do olive oil, dill, and salt. Super simple, but it's gonna be great. I do wanna know, who watches somebody cutting? Like, the fundamental difference between a chef who does like the fancy like bang, 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 bang thing is like, you can see the difference. I can do the little white knuckle, smack the knife a bunch of times, get the cuts all nice and even. But like these long vertical cuts, these are so much harder and they're so boring because you have to be so precise. I'm like, look at that shit. You get these little like pieces and I'm like, oh look, this one's a little wobbly and this one's thick and doesn't bounce anywhere. And it's like, well, shit. So you're kind of stuck in a paradigm where you're like, well, the vertical cuts will taste better, in my opinion. But I'm like, you know, I just don't like the idea that people waste so much food. And I'm using leftover shitty food. But no, I'm like, I don't like that people don't marinate their food. You gotta marinate. It's really fantastic. Take the asparagus, throw it in the pan, olive oil, just give it a nice glug everywhere, because it's gonna go in the broiler. This shit's gonna get crispy. Yeah, I'm gonna use this Mediterranean salt, get a little bit on there. It's a lot bigger, so it's gonna spread a lot more horribly. And then just a smidgen of pepper. I changed my mind, I want a little bit of pepper and apple cider vinegar. And then lastly is just the dill. Give it a good little thing. Let those flavors get to know each other, because that's the thing, is that you're gonna have all these little ingredients, you're gonna have to stir them to make them awesome. Once you do, change of plans with balsamic vinegar, not apple cider vinegar. I would use apple cider vinegar. Very simple, not a lot. Give it a nice little splash. Toss them babies around. And now, this is my opinion. This is anyone else's. If you have more experience or if you've done it better or differently, let me know in the comment section down below. I like to let these marinate for only like 30 minutes. Tops. I want that flavor to be there, but I want to taste the asparagus and the roasted salt and asparagus flavor. I don't care so much about the balsamic and the extra virgin olive oil. I want my food to taste like the food it's supposed to be. Unless I'm intentionally making it not taste like the food it's supposed to taste like, in which case that's called chicken. No, I like chicken. Do I like chicken? Anyway, now it's time for another secret that you didn't know. Why you didn't know? I'm telling you. You didn't know this one, so anyway. Take your pork. It's gummy, it's gammy, I know. It looks like crap, but just work with it. So now here's the trick, and you probably didn't know this. You take your pork. Yes, it's got little bad ends. You just simply cut that off. You don't need that in your life. You just don't want to risk it. Cut it off, and look, you got some relatively decent looking pork. Simple as pie. Not too bad, not too great either. Let's not beat around the bush. Now, you've heard this before. You probably want to reiterate it a little bit, but don't wash your meat. If you're gonna wash your meat, because I've heard people talk about this, get a bowl of water and simply dunk the meat in there and lightly pad the meat, and then pad it with a paper towel. Do not splash running water on raw meats. It gets everywhere. It's foodborne. It's bad. And now while you're not washing your meat and getting food particles everywhere, what you're also going to do is you're going to get your plastic wrap. Press and Seal. Please sponsor me, Press and Seal. I love this product. Please. You take this, simply rip the piece, put it over there. Bam. Hit it with a hammer. So, why are we hitting with a hammer? To tenderize it. You knew that. Why did you even ask me? But if you don't have a meat tenderizer, which plenty of people don't, you know what you can actually use? It's not the best alternative, but it works. Is you can use a frying pan if you just want to use like a heavy flat surface. Ow. Or you can use 2 forks, as I showed in one of my prior videos, linked. I don't know if I have access to cards yet, but it'll probably be somewhere. But you can use 2 forks, you can stab the meat, and that should, relatively speaking, get it tenderized to the level of a meat mallet if you do it enough times. And bam! Save this because I got a lot more meat to pound. So on 2 of them, I want to try something new. We're going to have a control steak, and then we're going to have one that uses mustard, and then we're going to have one that utilizes powdered peanut butter. I don't like using regular peanut butter because, and this is a $1 million trick if somebody wants to, pay me, use peanut butter to make pork sauces. So much better. You throw a pork chop on the grill, you get those nice char marks, use that leftover rendered fat if you have a pan on there where you're saving the fat, use peanut butter. It makes such an amazing sauce. It does overwhelm it, so I recommend thinning it out with a little bit of pepper and cream. You will never want to have another pork sauce ever again. All those people who put ketchup, we're not going to talk about that. But now we got it tenderized, super simple. You get a little bit of salt on there, so it really starts getting into the pores, the little holes we pounded in. And then on 2 of them, I'm going to do black pepper because I don't like pepper on my mustard, but I do love it on my peanut butter. Beep, 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 without hopefully cross-contaminating. And then the last one's just simply a little bit of mustard. And because this is English truffle mustard, or braswell? What the? I think that says braswell. It's swell mustard, which is truffle mustard. It's not real truffles. It's probably that fake stuff. But you want to go actually light. You don't want to go too crazy on this. So we're only going to do one side with the mustard. I will do both sides with the peanut butter, though. And plus, they're getting broiled, so it's only really going to affect one side more so anyway. But super simple stuff. Nice, coated, healthy. You can see it getting into the pores, too. But I like to massage it in there as well. You give it a little bit of massage. It really gets in there. Now, the thing that's gonna suck about the peanut butter one, you gotta bear with me here a little bit, is that it's gonna look dry and crappy. I would recommend you deep fry it first before you bake it, but for the sake of time, this is meant to be an easy, healthy meal. So deep frying kind of out of the options, but please keep that in mind when inevitably it gets out of the oven, it looks like it's a dry mess. That is why it is not because it's bad. I mean, I'm already preemptingly telling you, it's gonna be amazing. Get it all into the pores. Again, you want that peanut butter flavor. And then try not to get too much moisture everywhere. That's my usual fault. But I'm like, come on, doesn't that... You throw that in the deep fryer and you're like, yeah, that's gonna be delicious. So now all of it goes in the oven. It's as simple as that. And because I want these peppers to get as charred as possible, I'm putting these and the pork chops on the top shelf. Ow! My face! Asparagus on the bottom one. And that's it. It's so ridiculously easy. I'm like, come on, throw a timer up there. That's ridiculously easy. It takes you 15 minutes, tops. And while you know you're spending 15 minutes waiting for your food to cook, you know what you could be doing? You could be earning free stocks and cryptocurrencies with the links in the description down below. Deposit $100 in any one of the apps down below, and they give you free stocks, cryptocurrency, or money. I'm not even joking. So check out those links in the description down below. Make your life easy. Get some free money. As you can see, here is our smorgasbord. Disclaimer, I overcooked that pork intentionally. It had crap on it, you saw it. I just wanted to make sure I killed off all the bacteria. You don't need to cook your pork so long. That's why it gets so dry and tough and crappy. But I did it intentionally because this is some crappy pork. So bear with me here, but we're gonna go and taste everything now. Let you know how it tastes. And I want to start off with just the simplest, the controlled pork, salt and pepper. Simplest pie. I'm sure there's a little bit of cross-contamination. Yeah, you can just see that is just dry to hell, but that's the sacrifice you make when you make cheap, impulsive purchases. It's pork. It's good. It's dry because I overcooked it, but for the most part, the flavors are there. It's simple, and I actually get a little bit of crispiness. It almost got to like a little bit of like a smoky bacon flavor on there. So pork chops, it's simple. You can't go wrong with it, and especially if it's on sale. Let's not beat around the bush. So now we got to try the peanut butter one next. which is also going to be conveniently dry as hail. In fact, it's going to be even more so because, as you recall, we sucked all the moisture out, but you know, we got a little bit of juice on there. Again, intentional, so to bear with me here during the taste test. This isn't going to be the most, this is the least appealing of all of this. Oh my god, yes. It tastes like a country fried steak. I didn't even fry it. It was great. All it takes is a little PB Fit, a little tender care. You definitely need pepper on there, and maybe just like the tiniest little splash of lime juice. Like I'm talking like a drop or two. Fantastic. You can't go wrong with the PB Fit. But now I want to try the mustard because this one surprisingly looks the best of all of them. Let's see how it tastes compared to the rest of them. Oh wow, yeah, you got actually a nice little decent amount. Still has the moisture in there, so that's kind of surprising. It's actually relatively moist compared to the other ones. Oh my god. I cannot describe what I just tasted to you. That's gone. That bite already just happened. That's how fast I consumed it. Oh my god. I don't even know there's a cut in the edit. That would be how great it was. It's great. It has all of the elements of being an amazing pork chop. Surprisingly, didn't lose its tenderness. It got a crispy layer on there. And I got this weird just kind of like taste of like not too much mustard, almost like a little bit of a blue cheese undertone, even though the kind of truffle, more of a mushroom flavor behind it. You can't go wrong with the mustard. It's especially fantastic that way. You gotta be careful though. The salt content of the mustards are usually a lot higher than you think they are. So undersalt your mustard porks if you do them, but don't leave out the salt. You need some regular salt on there as well. Fantastic. That is actually like a legit like amazing pork. Asparagus, I gave this one a little less roast because all the other ones are going to be way more roasted. I usually want a little bit of char on this as well, but let's give it a taste. Wow. It's great. You cut it down the middle. You saw in the video. I only gave it like 30 minutes to marinate tops. Fantastic. And by the way, I want to let you know, I threw all this in the oven at 430 and it came out at 450 roughly. And that was with me burning the crap out of the pork. How fast is this? This is great and this is healthy, but we got to try my experimental one last, which is the peppers. So this is the pepper, the red pepper with the pepperoncini and the sweet pickle, and then this is just the regular pickle flavor. But we got to give it a taste. I am excited to taste this, especially after that burger video, man. That was such a surprise. I'm actually not impressed. No. I get hints of the pepperoncini this time, but it doesn't sit there. It doesn't stay there. I just feel like I have sweet on top of sweet on top of sweet. So I get the sweetness of the red pepper. I get a little bit of the char from charring it, but then I just get, oh hey, here's a bunch of sweet bread and butter pickle flavor, and then here's a little hint of banana pepper behind it. It's like, that's not much, so I don't think I'm going to expect much out of the other one either because of that. And these were given like a 5-day. Okay, the bread and butter is better, but I'm still not impressed. So hey, you know, for the most part, I'm like, it ain't bad. And as you saw, it's all relatively healthy. I'm like pickle juice, mustard, and olive oil. Like, how simple is that? How easy is that? How cheap is that compared, I mean, the red peppers, obviously you can interpret that better. I would give green pepper a try. Maybe if you did green pepper, you'd probably get a little bit more of that flavor out of there. But for the most part, I'm gonna actually call that one a fail, and I'm surprised because the onion was so phenomenal. If you want to know about that one, you can check out the burger tier list video as well. Probably linked in the description down below. I don't know, maybe. I might forget about it by then. But if you liked any of these, leave some comments down below. Leave comments for the mystery box series. I need comments for the mystery box series. So please, enjoy this video. Get your free stocks, your free cryptocurrency. Please, for the love of God, try this and tell me what you think, because I can't get any better than this, especially with cheap, affordable, gonna be thrown out foods. And I love you all very much, and I appreciate y'all. See you in the next video.